tournament number 10 finals. This is game one of three. Um, I'm playing against BeeTeTe, Erpelboer, and Sebosch. This should be a very tightly contested three-game set here. These are super strong players here. Let's see. What do we have in the first pack? Nothing amazing, sadly. Drudgery Reeve, Collier, and Wood Collector are probably the best cards. In the base game, so Wood Collector gives you wood in the first five rounds after you play it. In the base game, it's a really good card. In the revised edition, not quite as much because wood is generally more available and resources in general are more available. Collier gives you an extra reed and a wood when you use the 1 clay accumulation space. And then in the 2 clay accumulation space, you get an additional wood. Drudgery Reeve is a 4 wood card and rewards 1, 3, or 5 bonus points if you have resources of all types left over. I think the play is Drudgery Reeve just because it also has that element of surprise. Even though I will want to play it early. Portmonger rewards bottom feeding. Tinsmith Master is okay. If Drudgery Reeve is in the game, Collier might be a better play because I can take 1 or 2 clay at the end of the game and get a reed and a wood as well. And that might get me a couple points. I hate throwing resources into the game with my first pick, but there's nothing amazing here. Big Buyer is okay. It's a temporary card that you throw away when you want to get 2 additional goods from an accumulation space. So, for example, if you play Big Buyer and then later in the game take 1 cow, you can throw away Big Buyer and get 2 more cows. Moral Crusader is awful. Well, I won't say awful, but you kind of want to put a resource on round 14 and then play Moral Crusader for like 10 food, but not terrific. Okay, the best card here is probably Furnisher. Buyer is okay. Excavator is also okay. Excavator seems really strong. It's day labor plus wood and clay, and then you can turn day labor into a wood, clay, stone food spot. But the effects of that around the game are kind of unpredictable in that you're putting so much extra resources into the game, so many. Oh wow, and Young Artist is a day labor card. That would work with Excavator. Hollow Warden is okay. With Collier, it would turn the 2 clay spot into clay plus wood food. And immediately gives me a fireplace if I play this. And have clay. Sorry, just resizing my face here. So the question is, do I want to try to get Excavator and Young Artist? That probably isn't happening. Because they're just likely to get picked. I guess Furnisher is the right play here. You immediately get 2 wood, and then after a room you can play a major or minor for 1 wood less. So that seems good. And a way to play early-ish minors are good. Okay, here I'm leaning Stockman. And... Oh, hey, Kimball. Here I'm leaning Stockman just because the revised edition has so many resources that I've found myself building 4 stables a lot. So just to get all animal types for free is pretty nice. Clay Warden. If I play Collier, it's going to make the Clay Warden pretty happy. Theater Critic, Young Artist is in the game, so Traveling Players has some possible plays. Lutinist might be actually not terrible in this game because of that. And then Bellfounder, if there's a lot of clay in the game, it's a nice food or points engine. And I found food to be a good use for Bellfounder. But it could be a trap as well. It's kind of hard to play. Too bad Clay Warden doesn't activate when you take clay yourself. That would be fun. So if I take 2 clay, the Clay Warden will get a clay and a food. That could be okay, because there's the Hollow Warden, which gives the player of the Hollow Warden a food when they take the 2 clay spot, and then it gives the Warden a clay and a food. So, you know, Bellfounder might have some uses here. But I think I'm going to take Stockman. Okay, Farmyard Worker's bad. We are playtesting this card and bumped its reward from 1 food to 2, and I think it's still bad. Placing a good on your farmyard spaces. Pet Broker is pretty minimal. It's makes every occupation hold a sheep, and you immediately get a sheep. Sheep Keeper gives you 3 points when you have 7 sheep. Harpooner's okay. Storehouse Keeper is a nice card in the base game, but actually kind of poor in the revised edition. So I don't think I'll be taking it. Confidant is a card I've had good success with. The wording is still unclear on how many rounds it activates, but I think it's 4 if you want. Harpooner exchanges wood for a ton of food and reed, and when you use fishing. I think it's the strongest card, and I have a use for it. Okay. I'll probably take Big Buyer here, but it's not exciting. Just because everything else is pretty bad, too. I don't seem to have a use for Moral Crusader. Late Plower, because I haven't seen any plow cards, but it needs Veggie to be taken. It's just really tough to activate, I think. Knapper is not strong. Drudgery Reeve got taken. Tinsmith Master has always seemed to me like a decent card. It gives you extra capacity in your pastures and lets you sow extra crops. And given that I don't have any crop support right now, yeah, I guess I'll take it. Big Buyer, I mean, like I gave an example for earlier, getting 2 additional cows right now. When I have Stockman is yeah, Kimball, this is definitely named after Joe. You can go into the CAC and find some fun stuff there. And thanks for the host, Montu. Excited to know what you think about this game later when it gets posted. Okay, like I expected, Young Artist and Excavator are both gone here, so there was no point in trying to activate that. Every time you sow or bake, you can take a bonus point for a food. Put it on the action space for the next visitor. I mean, I don't seem to be sowing and baking here. I have Confidant for my sowing, potentially. Cattle Wire, I have the Confidant, so... oh, and there's also the Theater Critic in this game, so the fencing action space might see less activity than usual, making Cattle Buyer worse than average. It's just an okay card in the first place, so I think the pick is Hollow Warden. It's not exciting. Mummy's Boy is also weak. And I don't expect to have a use for it. So let's try this. These are both weak. But both stronger than Arable Pasture Guy. Yeah, it's a wasteland out here. I guess I'll take Lutenist. Just because it gives a way to get veggies, but it seems so weak. Well, it is, so. But Traveling Players, like I said, might get a bit more use if Young Artist is played. Then I can play Lutenist on somebody's first Young Artist use and have them go to day labor, and I can maybe profit a bit. Okay, miners. Oh gosh, there's great support for whoever took the Harpooner. Okay, so everything seems to be useful here except maybe Ravenous Hunger. Lettuce Patch is the best card. Loom is not far behind. Pond Hut is a tiny bit behind. Supply Boat is okay. It's a wood for a point and gives you abilities. Value Assets is decent given that Drudgery Reeve is in the game. Asparagus Knife can be useful if I have veggies. I think I'm taking Lettuce Patch here and hoping for Supply Boat to come back. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's my plan. Also, I have Furnisher, though, so I can get improvements for 1 wood less, which makes stuff like Pond Hut and Supply Boat better. Just by math, I know I'll get one of these 4 back. And I think it could be Supply Boat, just because Herring Pot is also useful for the Harpooner. Oh boy, Cookery Lesson is a strong card. It gives you a bonus point whenever you use a cooking improvement and occupation in same turn. That might work for me. Feed Fence is also good. It gives food reward for building stables. And I have the Stockman, which also supports stables. Hard Porcelain, also very useful in a Drudgery Reeve game. It means I can not worry about getting stone and just take extra clay, which the Collier, that fits really well. Feed Fence also does because I can build stables for clay. Man. And while Cookery Lesson is great, how many points can I really get out of it? Ceilings is also strong. Private Forest is not really that great. It now has a 1 occupation prerequisite as well as costing 2 food. Oh, and Ceilings, very strong. Yeah, I guess it gives you 5 wood for a clay. And I should have a lot of clay early. It just means I can't renovate that early, which is probably fine. Feed Fence probably won't come back. But Feed Fence is not saving me nearly as much wood as Ceilings. New purchase, of course, is useful because I don't have grain and veg support right now, except for Lutenist. Feed Yard is terrible. Bassinet is just okay. Milking Parlor is potentially useful. Hutch is just really good. Maintenance Premium is also good. I think I'm taking Hutch, but maybe Maintenance Premium. Yeah, and I can save a wood on it. Okay. Hutch, as I've talked about before, is kind of like a chicken coop. A lot like a chicken coop. Okay, this card always seems fun, but is hard to play in reality. Stable Tree. Forest Inn gives an action space to the game and puts wood and food into the game. A lot of wood and food. Blade Harrow gives you a field temporarily, and then when you have one unused space left, the field goes in there instantly. So you can use it as a field until then, normally. So just the requirement is basically, are you going to fill your farmyard? Crosscut wood is decently strong. I should not take Stable Tree. It's just so difficult to play. Education bonus. If I play it after I have maybe 2 or 3 occupations, I'll get Reedstone Veg. That's not bad, but not great either. Just because of the timing. I mean, overall, having a reed and stone of vegetable for 1 food seems great. The timing of it's difficult, and I don't know if I'll play 6 occupations anyway. Thick forest, of course, could be useful because I'll be gathering a lot of clay and already trying to put wood on rounds. Huh. See, I want to do stuff that makes sure I have a good feeding plan, because right now my feeding plan doesn't seem very good. Blade Harrow, I save a wood. Stable Tree, I save a wood. Yeah, I guess I'm taking Blade Harrow. Basically a free field. Okay, so everything I could have wanted is gone. Loom and supply boat and something else. 4 and 8 is an interesting card. You get a 6 food boost immediately and then can't use the last 3 round action spaces, but I am very uncomfortable not being able to use those round spaces. I'm probably taking asparagus knife. My food support is so, or my crop support is so poor. We'll do it anyway. Value assets cost food to do, and yeah. These are all pretty marginal. Lasso is a favorite of a lot of people, but the actions that you use to take animals, you probably don't need to rush whenever you're lassoing animals. So it kind of gives other players more flexibility and knowledge of what to do in their round. So that's one reason the lasso isn't as good as a lot of people think. Maybe Private Forest. Maybe Lasso. Winnowing Fan will be pretty poor for my game. Wow, this is tough. I think Private Forest doesn't have a place in my game. And by default, Winnowing Fan doesn't either, or Market Stall. So I'm giving Private Forest to BeeTeTe, which, you know, whatever. Oh, and Maintenance Premium came back. That's a pretty good card. It gives you food whenever you take wood up to 3 times, and then when you renovate, you get to add 3 more times of getting that ability to the card. And we're off and running. I'm in the 4th position. Sheep comes out round 1. So, okay, here we go. I guess I'll take 3 wood. Unless Sebosch takes 3 wood, and then I'll play Collier probably. And be able to take, I don't know, 1 clay, 1 wood with my last action. Doesn't seem great. Alternatively, maybe I go for Lutinist if Young Artist is played. But BeeTeTe goes ahead and plays Excavator first. So that means he's probably taking Day Laborer second action, and Wood, Clay, Stone, Food is great. And like I said, throws a lot of resources into the game, so I should expect that kind of resource-heavy game again, as usual in one of these games. Sebosch, if he's annoyed already, he might have taken Young Artist and be annoyed that BeeTeTe is jumping that spot. Sebosch has this this new B card, which is called Woodcutter. It'll have to change its name, but it's very strong. He gets an additional wood and food when he takes 2 or 4 wood, and then an extra wood when he takes 3. So I'm stuck with 3 wood. And second action, I don't really want to start Flare because I have this Furnisher, which lets me save wood on improvements. I shouldn't get too stringent about making sure I play like Hutch, Blade Harrow, and Asparagus Knife when I build a room, but it is a consideration. There goes BeeTeTe on a lot of good stuff. Erpelboer takes 2 clay because sheep came out early. If major improvement comes really late, then Hollow Warden will help me a lot. Sebosch is worried about what's coming here. I need to, well, I'm going to plow here, so I need to think about which direction I'm going with this because of my Blade Harrow, so. Let's see if I'll be able to grab early Fireplace. That would be nice. Okay. Sebosch gets an extra wood and food for taking 2 wood, which is tremendous. BeeTeTe comes in with the Bell Founder. Oh, okay. Yeah, that seems strong. So the Bell Founder lets you throw away all your clay at the end of rounds for 3 food or a point, so great for him. Sobake comes out, which means I might be able to grab first Fireplace if I get these moves in, but it's not looking great. Sebosch takes Reed, which means I have time to play an Occupation, and I probably do want to get this show on the road. I get my Collier done. I can take 2 clay, a Reed, and a Reed and a wood on the 1 clay spot, and then play Hollow Warden next round if time allows. So That seems like the right play, but ugh. So this, of course, opens up somebody to play the Clay Warden and profit from my plays. BeeTeTe is going to grab... okay, no, he doesn't take wood, and instead he takes 2 clay. Erpelboer's making out like a bandit here, getting 2 reedstone foods. The first clay grab with the fireplace, with the sheep coming out round 1, rather, and then 3 wood, of course, is always a nice play. Sebosch grabs a wood and a food, so he has the room plans already. I'll use my collier. And improvement does come out right now, meaning Erpel gets extra stuff. He gets the fireplace, rather, which is crazy. BeeTeTe is looking to grab day labor again. He's already converted the Bellfounder clay to a point. Yeah, Sebosch plays Farm Decorator, meaning that he gets a ton of clay at the end of rounds, where he plays an Ochre Miner, which is going to be a lot of rounds. Let's see, if I get an extra wood on that space. Man, BeeTeTe can get an early well. It's ridiculous. As I mentioned, this is going to be a resource-heavy game. If it wasn't clear already, there's way too much stuff in this game. With my second action right here, I'll probably play ceilings, perhaps. No, Sebosch is taking start player. 3 food might be a better action for him, but instead he has the pond hut, which requires 2 occupations exactly, so it makes sense for him to play it here. It means I will have second action next round, and I probably want to guarantee myself 4 wood or reedstone food, so I should take traveling players or fishing here. And with Harpooner in the game, I want to take traveling players first, so once Harpooner comes out, there's more incentive for fishing to be taken by someone else. So, all that said, oh, I could have played Hollow Warden and stolen the sheep. Ouch. That would be a mistake. So, Erpelboer, oh, gosh. That's too bad. Oh. So I take Reedstone Food here, and I'll play Furnisher with my second action if possible, and then I can save some wood when I take rooms, and then build miners for free. Oh, this is annoying. Erpelboer grabs the sheep. Oh, I can't believe I missed that opportunity to steal the sheep. That's not good. Sebosch gets 4 wood. Erpel will probably start player. BeeTeTe might go back to Daylabes, or he might grab 4 wood. It's looking like Erpel gets 6 wood or a room, meaning Sebosch gets 6 wood if Erpel builds. It's annoying. This is really annoying. 4 wood is strong. So one big reason I took 4 wood is to try to make sure nobody gets 6 next, but I guess if BeeTeTe Daylabers, then yeah, his Bellfounder's already going off ridiculously. He gets wood, stone, food, and a point. Here's a pretty clear start player for Erpelboer with 6 wood coming out. Cookery lesson, that's very nice. So, of course, with fireplace and sheep, he'll be able to get a point every time he plays a knock and cooks a sheep on the same turn. So, round 5 is stone, not family growth, which means I'll get the second room and second growth. Oh, but then furniture is already useless. Yeah, I guess that's something I'll have to deal with. This is so bad. Yeah, I'll think about stables later. BeeTeTe plays start player. Plays the lumber mill. That's a great card. It requires 3 or fewer occupations, but saves you a ton of wood during the game. Wow. 2 points right off the bat. Seb goes occupation, which means I get the 5 food. So I guess I'll take the little victories while I can. And Seb goes for the pet broker. So he gets a sheep immediately and can hold sheep on occupations, which, okay, and then gets clay with farm decorator, so I guess that makes sense. I'll sweep away this food because I still don't have a feeding plan, but it seems to be okay right now. My miner will be ceilings whenever I can. And BeeTeTe, instead of grabbing clay here, he takes the well immediately, saving a wood. Can't argue with that. I need to get the ceilings out really soon because I'm already limiting my renovation until round 12, or round 11 rather, if I play it in round 6. So that's fine. I expect to be starting player this action. And then I can take 4 clay, a reed, and a wood or Reedstone food with my second action to let me play Hutch. So Erpelboer builds a room and Sebosch grows, which is completely expected after BeeTeTe takes the expected 4 wood to get to 8. I wonder who took Drudgery Reeve. Could be any of those three. I haven't seen a single occupation from my pack. Oh my gosh, and Sebosch has Shaving Horse. Shaving Horse is excellent. So Ceilings gives me 5 wood if I don't renovate. So I shouldn't be afraid to drop the last 1 or maybe even 2 wood. BeeTeTe uses his Bell Founder yet again. And Erpelboer could Reedstone food here, could take clay. There's a lot of good actions, but none amazing. Well, occupation would be really useful here. Free, and he gets a victory point when he cooks a sheep, so I think that might be the way he goes. I'm kind of annoyed I didn't get feed fences, the miner that lets you get food when you build stables and or use clay. That would be really nice with the Stockman. Furniture is already looking like a non-factor here because maybe it saves 3 wood throughout the game. Alright. So I get this wood. I get to grow, and I will play a Hutch, I guess. Zero, 1. So Sebosch played Shaving Horse a couple of rounds ago, which is a fantastic card. And puts more food into the game, so that will be nice. BeeTeTe is going for start player and trying to jump Erpelboer in the queue, the family growth queue. And he's playing Stable Tree, saving a wood. Erpelboer will go for the stable block. Sebosch nabs the 3 reed, looking for to force BeeTeTe into taking a room first next round. Here, I should put myself in position to get more wood because wood is good, and because Confidant and Stockman need some kind of engine, and I want to build the Stockman stables and room on the same turn if possible. Erpel is going to take 3 sheep. I don't know what BeeTeTe is going to do. Probably take day labor again. Sebosch has 2 moves. BeeTeTe doesn't take 3 wood, then Sebosch gets 6. If I don't do it myself, so can't allow that. I will be getting food from Hutch. I can probably nab the 5 food on traveling players without too much trouble. And nobody else has played a plow yet, but they've played other strong cards, meaning there might not be any plow support in this game. And that's something I might be able to take advantage of if I'm quick enough. Which means playing Blade Harrow, getting a grain and vegetable, playing Confidant. 5 food and Confidant would be very nice to do next round. BeeTeTe's not grabbing a stone with his excavator anymore, but still taking clay for the point. I want to play a few occupations right now. Stockman, Confidant, and Hollow Warden. Hollow Warden's not as useful. Erpelboer plays a greengrocer, which is actually really low rated in this version of the game. And that's because there's a lot of other crop support generally, but in this specific game, not much was in the draft. Sebosch takes the 3 wood here and uses his shaving horse, angling for 4 wood, which is really 4 wood, 4 food for him with the shaving horse and the woodcutter. Very strong. An interesting thing I just kind of noticed is that Reedstone food in a normal game, in the original game, will be a lot more highly contested than it is in this game, and that's because we have so many extra resources through excavator and woodcutter and my collier and my ceilings that's throwing a bunch of wood into the game. Seb goes for 6 clay. I'll happily take the 4 wood. Yeah, and then 5 food and Confidant, I suppose. BeeTeTe's yet again hitting the Bell Founder. I don't know how good this plan is for him, but he has a lot of points already. 2 plus 4 plus 6. Just on cards. Bell Founder is going to be 6, Wells 4, and Lumber Mills 2. Good stuff. Erpel nabs the sheep. I'll have a good chance of getting the 2 boar with a Confidant play if Sebosch doesn't take the 5 food here. Yeah, and he's totally set on food with his shaving horse, so I don't need to worry about that. And I need to be vigilant on taking the fishing because Erpelboer has laid down the supply boat. Seb renovates, he might buy the pottery here. Oh, buys the joinery, okay. And I think the right idea is to build 10 fences. Why would I build them there, though? That's bad. I need to move it to the bottom right corner. Okay, so goals for this round, probably 2 boar, 4 food. Purple's playing a knock and using his cookery lesson. Oh, and I should grab a veggie so I can sow it in round 10. Sebosch grabbing a plow. This 2 boar isn't really in any jeopardy. And I need a break really quick, so I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. Let's go here and then forgot to end my turn. That's annoying for everybody else. Okay, BeeTeTe plays feed fence on his family growth, which makes sense. So you see Stable Tree it seems like he has a good time to play it, but in the end, he's maybe getting 5 or 6 wood out of it, or 6 wood rather. But the stables he builds at the end are not going to really get the full wood output. Okay. Erpel's taking the boar. That's unfortunate. Sebosch going for thick forest here on start player. And probably building a room with his second action. Yeah, I do have this sow action that I need to take part in. Then my last action can be, well, Erpel is taking reedstone food, so I guess it could be 3 clay wood reed or 2 reed. Sebosch going for wood and food. I think that's 2 wood and 4 food for him. And a clay because he laid down thick forest on a farm decorator. 2 reed means I'll be able to build the next room and forces Sebosch to build room. I have not played many cards, but I think I don't think the Clay Hut extension is in the revised edition. But I do get a wood from my ceilings, which means too bad for Seb. Yeah, Sebosch needed to ask, can anybody build a room? So I have 1 move before I grow. I'll probably take 4 clay, reed, and a wood and play the Blade Harrow, or I can play Hollow Warden, or I can play Stockman. So Erpel's buying a sheep, which means BeeTeTe gets yeah. So I could play the lasso. I didn't let myself play Lettuce Patch. So I guess I'll play Maintenance Premium. Yeah, seems like the right play. I really need to figure out this feeding plan. I don't have anything yet. Yeah, so Maintenance Premium will be my miner here, which gives me some extra food for taking wood, though I won't be super crazy about it. So Erpelboer is discarding his big buyer here and taking 5 stone. Huh. Seb buys the pottery. Makes a lot of sense. I guess I could have played Harrow or Asparagus Knife because I have a wood on round 11. Yeah, the only advantage I have over all 3 of these guys, they're probably all better players than me, but I might know the cards best, and that's what I'm trying to keep myself afloat with. So I family growth with Maintenance Premium. BeeTeTe grab start player with the Loom. Erpel has all this stone and is renovating okay. Maybe buying the stone oven. So I need to grab the animals pretty badly because I am short on feeding plan after this round. Erpel played seatmate and activated his cookery lesson. BeeTeTe is building a room and 3 stables, so he maxes his feed fences. Or I guess he can build 2 stables, but 3 makes a lot more sense to me as well. So 2 cows, 2 pigs, plow. I want all of those, but I really need to take the 2 cows first. Renovate cooking hearth. Erpel will grab 6 wood. Of course, I need to remember that Maintenance Premium gives me wood as well. Okay, so Hollow Warden looks like it's out. Furniture is definitely out. Stockman and not Tinsmith Master. So really Stockman or Lunas. So Stockman's the only Ock I really think about playing from now on in this game. Here's the 2 cows. That is really nice for me because I can easily grab a cooking hearth now. I don't have to worry about the pottery being bought. Of course, I do need to make sure that that nobody else steals this stuff from me. BeeTeTe's getting Day laborer again. Erpel doesn't need to take the 2 boar because he can buy one for himself. So I really want to get the blade harrow or lettuce patch down this round because otherwise I won't be able to use my confidant, and so unless I grab enough wood for fences, which is also an option. I only need 3 more wood for just the fencing, and I have 1 in supply. So it's either blade harrow or 2 wood plus 1 of my maintenance premium food for my last action of this round, and that will be okay. So 2 boar and then renovate cooking hearth is my perfect round, but I can also just play cooking hearth by itself because Erpelboer suggested earlier in the game that he is likely to take renovate very soon. Also, that stone means, what are you doing with that stone? Like, seriously. Maybe Erpel will greengrocer. Uses greengrocer. Okay, there goes the excavator, and likely trying to use the bell founder again. There's Erpel with the renovate. Cross-cut wood. Holy crap. Okay. You. Oh, goodness. That makes a lot more sense now. That's great stuff. Oh, goodness. Oh, my gosh. Sebosch took start player for round 12. Which is okay. I'm trying to get Erpel to give me a food. And he does. What a nice guy. BeeTeTe playing the private forest for a couple wood. Erpel fencing. So I want the cooking hearth and 2 wood probably so I can fence with the confidant. Oh, and I just get 2 actions here, so that's useful. Once Seb finishes, and he's activating his shaving horse. So that will solve my feeding problems for the rest of the game. And then I can play Stockman, I can take Reedstone food, I can take wood. I think wood is the call. Oh, crap. Yeah, nothing. I miscalculated how many wood I needed because I don't get a ceilings wood anymore. Sebosch gets his family growth, which means I need to grab this plow immediately. Yeah. See, I'm going to have a problem with this blade harrow. It's not going to be useful. BeeTeTe's grabbing the sheep. I guess he's hungry. Let's see, renovate, grain, start player blade harrow, or start player blade harrow grain. Oh, Erpel takes a grain now. Because he gets a veg also, of course. Oh my gosh. Seb taking start player, which I guess is nice for me. I get plow or family growth without room next round. I just have to decide which one I want. Seb plays facades carving, so he exchanges 4 food for 4 points. That's good. I can renovate. Might be the safe plan. Do need to do it eventually. And get this played. Which means I'm probably going for I forgot my train of thought. Whatever. Okay, so it's kind of sad that I don't get the grain here. Oh, my thought was I'm going for plow sow next round. Of course, I let Sebosch get a veggie here. But he will buy something with his new purchase, I assume. Yeah, he's going to buy so I'm probably getting family growth regardless, but I might take plow instead. What am I talking about? I definitely take plow instead. These guys aren't plowing at all. I need to get this blade harrow down, so that seems like a much better play. Erpelboer takes Freedstone food. Sebosch uses his shaving horse. I can take a veggie. I can play Stockman. I can do both. You can do both? Oh yeah, you can buy one of each. That's good for him. Maybe I don't take a veggie then. Maybe I just go ahead and play Stockman. No, I'm not going to be getting the Stockman either, because it takes too much wood. Did I take my food? I did add a food. So if I'm not playing Stockman, I have an extra cow. If I am playing Stockman, I have an extra pig. Just trying to make sure I get all my points on the margins here. Erpel's going to buy the stone oven. So he has enough materials for one stone room. Let's see, if I don't fence here, I'm likely not fencing, period. And I'm not playing Stockman. The stone isn't enough to get me to renovate. So I guess the play is to build fences. It feels pretty wasteful as an action, but whatever. I would like to make it competitive against everybody else, but I don't want to screw myself over, and because I'm making it competitive, they'll angle for fences really early, and then I'll be locked out of it, so that doesn't seem like a good idea either. Sebosch is going to plow sow here. I'm going to plow, then grab stone and clay plus reed wood and stuff like that. What I didn't think about was building a clay room, though I probably should have thought about it. Let's see, I'll want a grain, I'll want sheep. 2 cows for 8 food is great, but Erpel's going to take 2 cows, which means I should be ready to start player. Oh wow, B is grabbing start player. Okay. On milking parlor, so he'll get 4 food or something like that. Four sheep, 4 food. Erpel is renovating with the upgrade to the cooking hearth, with eyes on building a room and growing, which means Seb will get family growth without room. I'll nab the 2 cows, I guess. Okay, Erpel is grabbing the 2 cows because he notices that chain, I guess you'd call it. Seb grabs 3 stone because, oh, and we're running out of renovation actions. Let's see, what can I do here? I can, okay, if stone for Seb, then I'll grow. But I fully expect to grow here. Yeah. Two pigs, 1 sheep. I still might not be able to renovate, but if I force the issue, then I might get my plow. I'm fed this round because I can kill a cow. I have no improvement points here. I'm going for the well-rounded game. It is a rough game, though, so I mean, I still might have a chance here. So I want to take a grain here. And then clay reed wood. Is anybody else going to go for that clay? I think unlikely. So if I'm still letting... Oh, ball. It's getting tight. Sebosch can take the 3 stone and guarantee his renovation. Like I said, all I really want to do is force the issue. Okay, so Erpel's going to use his supply boat instead of greengrocer, which is great for me. Also, I can take stone and lock Seb out of renovate, but this is strange. This is very strange. What do I do here? Weird. So I can lock Seb out of renovation, which is super valuable, and then just grab a sheep or a grain next. Oh, no, it's... B can lock Seb out of renovate as well with 3 stone or reed stone food, so that doesn't seem like a good gambit. If I grab a grain and a sheep here, that's probably good. Alternatively, from sheep, I can take 2 boar. Oh, right, B has the... excavator, so great for him. Oh, Erpel has seatmate. That is some useful stuff. I can sow, I can take sheep. Or I could take food with the 2 pigs. Let's see. So sow is potentially 2 points. Sheep is definitely 2 points. And I think I'll want to skip both and grab the 2 pigs here. sow is not 2 points because this harvest comes off, so. It would have been 1 point really for the grain. So my first action is going to be plow, though Erpel could take plow and really make things weird. If Erpel takes plow, then I need to run to stables, 6 wood in the stable, without stockman. Let's see. Well, BeeTeTe could definitely use the 3 wood to build fences. On his renovate, because Erpel is also renovating. Though we're not threatening. Sebosch nor I are threatening to renovate, which is too bad. B has 2 wood coming in. So if he gets to 10 wood by taking 3 here, which will earn him 3 points. Oh, but instead he's taking 2 to take 6 with his first action. Interesting stuff. I'm liking Erpelboer's place here. He can plow and plow sow. And renovate fences, because BeeTeTe, oh no, this is just first seat. Made his plow, around 13, so. I want the 2 sheep. And I can family growth also. Yeah, I guess I gave myself some good options here. Plowing's just 2 points for you, Erpel. Take family growth. Or renovate room. Seb will plow sow. I'll plow. So perfect would be sheep, but oh, he's saying BeeTeTe's saying Seb has this for sure. Oh wow, I'm really low. Wow. Okay, maybe this isn't very good for me. Whoa. I might come in last. Yikes. Okay, damage control would be sow for 2 points and clay oven for 2 points. Wow. Yeah, I really got punched on the improvement points. Oh. That's very useful. 4 points right there. Oh, gosh. Let's see what BeeTeTe ends up with. I'll have 2 points for Loom. Or 3, rather. So 45. Seb's showing 48. And I'll be at 39. Yeah, I came in last. Yikes. Yeah, that's a rough game. No improvement points. Ouch. Ugh. Yeah, so moral of the story is, see, I have a pretty farm, but with just 4 points on cards, um, that gets outdone by stuff like what BeeTeTe has here, which is kind of silly. Okay, so yeah, geez. Rough. My farm feels so much better than 40, but I mean, I've had this kind of layout in like 57 before because just card points are nothing here. Oh gosh. Congrats to Seb. He never messes up this kind of game. It's crazy how good he is. He's the world champ for a reason. Um, Uh, um, next Sunday afternoon. So that's oh, thanks, Samfolds. Hope it was kind of entertaining. I felt like I was a bit quiet during the game. It's just hard to make sure I'm thinking and then still put out relevant thoughts out there. So, like always, I appreciate any suggestions, feedback, comments, any points of improvement for me, and I hope it's always entertaining for everyone watching out there. So I think we're just scheduling the next game right now, nothing too crazy. And thanks for watching. Hope to see you again next time. And until then, I'm signing off. All right.